Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request from Lucas for another episode of What's New Scooby-Doo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the episode FranPsycho, where the gang, of course, San Francisco, actually near Alcatraz. This is about the ghost of an Alcatraz prisoner that got eaten by a shark, just like Sam Jackson. Fuck, the shark ate me. But the reason the game is there is because of the grind games, the skateboarding little tournament. The skateboarder named Ryan Sheckler. I did not know who the fuck Ryan Sheckler was, but I guess at this point he was 15 years old and he was a big, just still a big skateboarder. So I'm like, Ryan Sheckler. I'm like, who the fuck is Ryan Sheckler? I guess people at the time knew more about Ryan Sheckler. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's like, I still don't know who the fuck Ryan Sheckler was, and I was watching the show at that time. Let alone, I don't know, 20 some years later, and I'm watching the show for the first time, and even whatever. So this ghost of this prisoner that seems like he wants to stop these games. Although you get the idea that it's not really trying to stop Ryan, it's just trying to stop the other people. And there's a reason for that, of course. So, of course, the gang investigates. There's a bit where they're chased around Alcatraz. Then they get on the boat, and then they're chased by sharks. The boat almost gets... big piece of it is eaten by a shark. Which I didn't mind the animation where we see the back of the boat. You see the shark come up and bite a big chunk of the back of it. I didn't mind that piece of action animation. There's another chase where they're going around steep ramps. There's a bit where the gang have to separate while Shaggy and Velma and Scooby are looking to sort of undercover Fred and Daphne. Like Fred especially tries to stop this San Francisco trolley car that's a runaway. It goes off track. So definitely giving Fred something to do. And he helps get the people to safety. I'm kind of sitting there going, this Scooby and Shaggy don't really do anything. Well, they do at the very end where Shaggy is used as a decoy, as a skateboarder, so the monster, the ghost comes after him. So after some being chased around, Scooby's on a skateboard, gets the ghost, flies them into the concession stand, and you find out it was this fan, a Ryan Sheckler, who wanted Ryan to win. And it was one of those, I'll be honest, a lot of it was, I was kind of indifferent to the episode. I felt the Alcatraz location could be utilized even more. Like the whole thing could have been, the whole thing could have taken place on Alcatraz. Where they're there as a, like the Rock, it's a touring attraction or something. Or they go over there, but then the boat is dismantled and there's trapped there. They gotta wait till the morning, so they try to sleep. Then hey, let's investigate and see what's going on. And I think, like I said, I think Alcatraz could be utilized a lot more for a location. The Death Star Ryan Sheckler, I didn't know who he was, so I didn't give a shit. Like I said, the songs that he utilized during the chases in this show, I do not like. I think for the most part they suck. The mystery, I didn't really find that involving. So yeah, this one was kind of a middling episode. The bits with the sharks, I didn't mind. The idea of this prisoner, like there's a flashback of the prisoner that he got eaten by a shark. I'm like, well, that's pretty violent for the show. And then when the game gets almost eaten, I didn't mind that segment. Scooby and Shiny have a bit more to do at the end, where they stop the villain. The, but yeah, it's kind of just it is what it is. Yeah, I didn't really have much strong feelings, just a big level of indifference. Especially when I compare it to the next one, Scooby-Doo Halloween, which I thought was much more. Plus, you got Kiss, the band Kiss, so that helps too. But that one just felt a bit more sleek and slick in terms of the look of it, and I don't know. Maybe just like the look of the villain wasn't that interesting either, and yeah. Like I said, I think the whole Alcatraz Predator could have a lot more could have been done with it in that aspect. And this is definitely a show that definitely doesn't have any atmosphere. Like I said, back in the day when you saw some of those early Scooby Doo's, they're cartoons, they're for kids, but they have a little bit of the spooky atmosphere. There's none of that in this show at all. So just makes it kind of a little bit more bland. I wouldn't say bad, just a little bit more bland. But as for jokes, I can't remember any jokes or humor that I laughed at. So it is what it is. And there's a short one, but yeah, I'm going to keep these short because they're only 20 some minute episodes. I'll give a little, since this is a short, I'll give a little side note. While I was doing this, I was looking up like just out of curiosity, were there like podcasts or channels dedicated to Scooby Doo? And actually, there's a decent amount of one. And I flipped through. There's this podcast called Scooby Doos and Don'ts. I like let me take a look at this. I wonder what this is about. And then like their newest one was like from years ago, and it was the end. I'm like, oh, so they got to the end of the show, huh? Like this whole Scooby Doo thing. That's impossible. There's never an end. And I'm listening to it. It was like 15 minutes of these two hosts, and the girl just bitching and complaining about we should have just done Mystery Incorporated. I hate Scooby Doo. I fucking hate this shit. And then I guess some guy that worked on Be Cool Scooby Doo, I just gave her shit about her opinion on that show, which I rarely know about that show. But purposely, I hate Scooby Doo, and we're not going to do this anymore, and don't ask us. And the guy, I don't know if it's her roommate or her brother or something, is like, he's like trying to be a bit more understanding, but it felt like they were ready to kill each other too. It felt like they were just, if they were a couple, it felt like they would all break up on the fucking pod. It was like the weirdest thing. I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be the end. I'm gonna listen to this whole thing about Scooby Doo and their summation. It's just like, I hate Scooby Doo, and uh, I hate Shaggy, and it's like kind of a weird thing to do a fucking whole Scooby Doo. I guess no wonder why you ended it. Why you did like almost 500 episodes of something you don't even like. Except I guess she liked Mystery Incorporated. That show. So I was like, maybe you should just. It was just funny. Like let me give this show. Let me give this podcast a chance. That's the first thing on there. I'm like, nah, I'll skip it. And I probably don't like Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers, which I'm like, really? You don't like that one? To me, that's one of the best ones, but that's a difference in opinion. But I'm like, oh, I guess I won't be listening to this podcast. Scooby Doo sucks. I was like, okay. And it's like mental breakdown. And yeah, if they were a couple, they were ready to fucking break up or something. It was called like Scooby Doos and Don'ts, and like the first one that popped up is their newest one, The End, and I'm like, it's like 15 minutes. If you even listen to that, you might get a chuckle out of it like I did. So, and there's a little tangent, but fuck it. For those who hear this, Maybe you'll get check all it like I did. But anyway, I thought overall the episode was serviceable. I don't mind skateboarding as a sport, so skateboarding action can be fun to watch. It was fun to see Shaddy try to skateboard. And of course, Scooby maintained it at the end to stop the bad guy. But yeah, I can't remember any specific jokes or gags that made me chuckle or anything. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.